Give yourself a pat on the back. I always do this. 85% of the demographic that follow me are females. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm saying that guys, males, females multitask really well. And females love to do what? They love to prove guys wrong. They love that. That's a challenge, right? And I've had multiple ladies and females tell me, you know what? When I first heard you, I thought you were full of crap. And then what? What did they do? Started reading and putting it together like a puzzle, because that's what it is. It's a chronological blueprint. And voila. And a lot of them were not in the military, but their spouses were. So the reason why I was tough on veterans for so long also was the fact that a lot of these ladies were telling me how their husbands were talking down to them. That ain't what the military trains us to do. The military don't talk. They don't teach us to talk down to people. It don't teach us to talk down to our partners especially. All right? It don't teach us to abuse them verbally. So, you know, what amazes me is that my grandfather and great uncles and all that generation, they never talked about war. They never bragged about war. They didn't beat on their wives. They didn't yell at their wives. Nothing like that. How did we get where we are today? I don't even think my grandpa knew what PTSD was. I don't even think any of my great uncles knew what it was. My great uncle at Normandy, he never even mentioned the word PTSD. He didn't even know what that word was. See, we have such a place where we are now where we play victims a lot. People play victims. Right? Life ain't easy. It ain't tough. It wasn't supposed to be, was it? Was it supposed to be easy? I don't think it was. So, look at where we are and look at all the victim mentality. Especially while I'm live on Instagram, all you chicks out there, put some freaking clothes on. Have some decency about yourself. I mean, look at the world we live in. My God, what? Seriously. Every chick on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere, all on the timelines, everywhere. Bikini, or they got their tatas just, I'm just riding down the road and the camera's way up here. Yeah, you're riding down the road, all right. Look at the world we live in. We're in a self-gratification, instant gratification. No wonder people don't want to hear the laws and orders. Oh, but they want their paycheck cleaned up. Oh, but they don't want taxes. Oh, but get the gas prices down. Oh, I can't afford the food right now. Oh, but you don't want to know who's working behind the scenes and who's doing this. And finally drew a line in the sand in 2016. And for the first time in world history, you're witnessing an occupation and an operation take place that's cleaning out all of this global elitists all around the world. And it's a war. And you should want to know what's going on. (1871) Ulysses S. Grant, garbage, signed us back under the nation that we fought our independence from. Organic Act of 1871. Then it was the Organic Act of 1878 that established the federal corporation. Also in 1878, the Posse Comitatus, which I find, my opinion, is a violation of the Constitution. Why would you put limits? Why would the Congress put limits on the military with what the military could do federally? Sounds like a ploy to me. Sounds like exactly what they did do, right? 1913, the Federal Reserve, right? And you had a crash of 29, right? The crash. And then all throughout the Depression and right after the Depression, what did they do? They put all these things into place for my grandparents, right? They duped all of my grandparents. Oh, we got this program, put your money here, put your money there, put your money here. Residuals, right? Just the same way other stuff works out there. Residual based. These global elitists up here. Americans stopped reading the laws and orders. They were trusting Oh, Congress, that's what they get paid to do. That's what Congress gets paid to do. It just works itself out. I've heard it my whole life. I know you have too. That's exactly what I've heard. Oh, it just works itself out, and that's what Congress gets paid to do. We don't need to do anything about it. And then you wonder why we look the way we look. Then you had World War II, which was a corporate war. And not throwing them under the bus, but the guys that wrote the foreword to my book and major key pieces in the back of it. Lieutenant Colonel, retired Special Operations, Australian Forces. Also Colonel Sellers, full bird colonel, retired, Special Operations, Green Beret. Former Deputy Commander of Delta Force. All right. As those two did on a podcast one time, they showed how World War II, Roosevelt even, and Churchill and all them, they knew what was going on. Oh, they knew. All part of the corporation. All right. Thank God for other men, though, that defied orders back then. You'll have to go watch that podcast. But see, what happened is so beautiful if you'll just listen really close. And I'm going to get to the debate here. But all this is important. What these people put into law is coming back to bite them. Because the law reads as close to perfect as it can get. It's real neutral. That's why it takes two different sides. Even if you opposed me, you still need to know the law, because that's the law right now. That's our system we're in. And I respect the law. And I want the law. I want the laws that back the Declaration and back our foundation and back the Constitution to stay the same. So that law is as neutral as possible. And then two people have to get on the other side. If you oppose it, then you still look at the law right here. All right? So when you look at what was put into place in 1941 and 1942, the first War Powers Act and the second War Powers Act, all right, and one didn't replace the other. They happen to have two different acts for certain reasons. First War Powers Act, and then the second War Powers Act was about land and naval usage. Seizing airports, which is what you're watching right now. You're watching a World War II history repeat. However, they're using the laws the correct way. And that's why when President Trump says, if they're going to investigate me, they got to investigate every president before me immediately. Right? Because all these other presidents and Congresses, plural, put all these laws and orders in place. They put them in perfect for when you, the people, go read it. It